Hey everyone, happy Friday. Thank you for coming back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about how I did from the Victoria Marathon that just happened this past Sunday. I'm going to talk about the week building up to it, the night before, and how I did on race day. So let's get started. So here's the medal that I got. Pretty nice. I really like it this year. I like how it's like in between part. I don't know, it's cool. I like the design. Okay, so before I get into details on how I did at the marathon, I just wanted to give a little background as to my past marathons that I've done throughout my life. So my very first marathon I did was in March of 2023. That was the Los Angeles Marathon. I completed that in a time of 4 hours, 24 minutes, and 41 seconds. I was on I want to do as many marathons as I can train, so I did one fairly quickly after. I did the BMO Vancouver Marathon in May of 2023. Obviously did not have a lot of time to train and prepare, and I didn't really realize how much preparation I needed. I thought I could just do one marathon and get to the next, but anyways, so I did that one in 4 hours, 35 minutes, and 26 seconds. From then, I took a little bit of a break, prepared a little bit more properly for the Victoria Marathon of 2023 in October. I did that in 3 hours, 58 minutes, and 2 seconds. Then I did the BMO Vancouver Marathon in 2024. So this year in May, I did that in 3 hours, 48 minutes, and 52 seconds, which leads me to this one. So it's my best timing I've ever done for a marathon, and I did this one in 3 hours, 32 minutes, and 15 seconds. Okay, so for the week building up to the Sunday, how my running week goes is my last run of my running week is on Monday. And then I usually take 2 days off, and then I do my weekly routine. So obviously that meant that on the week of the marathon, I was still doing a long run during that week. And then I took 2 days off, and then I still did 3 more, I called them like my official taper runs. So I did 3 6-kilometer super easy runs, like not a walk in the park, but I definitely tried to reel it in to really make them easy, just to keep the legs moving. So I did 2 of them in Vancouver and then 1 of them in Victoria, since I arrived to Victoria on the Saturday. Okay, so when I was in Victoria, I stayed at my friend's place, Michelle. Friend, dance mom. I used to do competitive Irish dancing, and I danced with her 2 kids, and she has been a huge support before even me signing up for this marathon. Just throughout my life, she's been very supportive. She's given me lots of advice, or even just someone to speak to about how I'm feeling, or what goals I've been wanting to accomplish. She's always been there for me. And I thought, what better person than to stay with her? To be honest, originally I was gonna stay at my aunt's place because I did that last year. However, she is not here at the moment. So I thought, you know what? I should stay with Michelle. And it worked out perfectly. We did so much preparation and planning prior to me coming, and she made it super seamless. It was, honestly, it made it for a really great, I'll say, trip, and also a really great marathon experience. It just really added to it. So yeah, I left Vancouver Saturday morning, got the early ferry. She picked me up. We went for a great breakfast. It was very, very filling. We went to the Blue Fox in Victoria, and so good. I've been there once prior, and trust me, if you're in Victoria, you're looking for a brunch, go to the Blue Fox. Okay, anyways, after brunch, got back to her place, put all my stuff away, chilled for a bit. She took me to a local track to do my final taper run, which it was really funny in the beginning. I was super speedy. I think my pace was like a 4:10. I never run like that, but it felt super natural, and I guess I was just like really pumped and really revved up. But anyways, it was a great run. Did that, came back to her place, ate a enormous dinner. I feel like she was shocked at how much I ate. But yeah, made myself my my humongous dinner, went to bed super early. I think I went to bed around, I think it was 7 p.m. And I know myself, honestly, for whether it's a race or it's just anything super, super exciting in my life, I tend to have a really bad sleep because I am so anxious and so excited, and I just think about that all night. So I accounted for the staying up a little bit more. So went to bed at 7 p.m., woke up at 4 a.m., made myself my oatmeal, blueberry, raisin, yogurt breakfast, had my signature carrot juice that I like to have on race day, went to the washroom enough, and then we were out the door and we arrived to the start line an hour prior. So the race started at 8:15. We got there for 7:15 in the morning. Okay, so I was there bright and early, doing my warm-ups, got all my exercise out of the way, and my plan was to run with the 3:30 pacer the whole entire way. That way I would hit my goal. I did that similar to the Vancouver Marathon, except my goal then was 3:45. I didn't hit my goal for various reasons, which I'm not gonna get into, but definitely running with that pacer helped. So my goal going into the Victoria Marathon was 3:30, and I wanted to run with their 3:30 pacer. However, when I went to the expo and picked up my bib the day prior, I found out that there was only gonna be a 3:40 pacer. So I kind of had to adjust my plan on the fly, and I thought I had it figured out the day prior, but honestly, even when I was there in the morning on race day, I felt like I was kind of adjusting my plan and was just kind of going with the flow in the moment. So this is what I ended up doing. Okay, so you haven't signed up for a marathon. How it works is when you sign up, you will submit the fastest time that you've run a race. And based on that time, they'll put you in a certain corral for your starting. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 corrals. In bigger races, obviously more corrals. I think for the Victoria one, there was, let's say 4 plus the elite. So I was in the 3rd corral to start. And because I signed up last year, literally right after I ran my fastest race, that's why I was placed in a further back corral. Even though I knew I was gonna run a quicker race, I wasn't able to switch it, and I had to stay in the corral that I was assigned to. Something I need to work on with my running is running at a consistent pace. I know I have my watch, but for some reason, I just haven't gotten the hang of sticking to a pace and running at it for the whole entire run. And because of that, what I did for Vancouver was I wanted to run with the 3:45 pacer. I didn't hit my time for other reasons, but the point is, for the Vancouver Marathon, the 3:45 pacer was in a different corral. And I just kindly asked the volunteer if I could run with that pacer. That was my goal. Gave them a little spiel, and they were like, yeah, no problem. For this marathon, they had volunteers going around, and someone noticed that I wasn't supposed to be in the corral that I wanted to run in. And I tried explaining to them my story and why I wanted to be here, and they were like, no, you have to go to corral. And I was like, you know what? Okay, that's fine. I'll listen to you. Not a big deal. So I go to my corral where I'm supposed to be, and I literally stand at the very, very front of it. So I'm waiting for our corral to be next. I'm listening to my music, just jamming away as I always do. And I see one of the volunteers right in front of me trying to speak to me. And so I took out my earphone, and he was like, the race hasn't started yet. And I was just like, does it look like I'm racing? Honestly, I was in the zone, listening to my music, and it kind of made me annoyed. And so I look at him saying, I know the race hasn't started. I'm listening to my music and I'm dancing. And I feel like I shouldn't have made this passive aggressive comment, but I turned around to the people behind me and I was like, hey, did you hear? You can't dance at the Victoria Marathon. Anyways, if you're the volunteer that said that to me and you're watching this, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to be passive aggressive. I was just in the zone and I was frustrated. And anyways, I'm sorry. And so in combination of me not being in the crowd that I wanted to, and then this guy saying to stop dancing, I was like, oh, I had it here. I just had all this like pent up energy and anger, and I was ready to go. So our corral gets to the start line. They do the countdown, 3, 2, 1. I feel like it was out of a movie, and I literally just left everyone in the dust, and I gunned it, and it was the quickest that I've ever run, I think, in my entire life. My first kilometer was a 3:48 pace. It was fast. I got up to the 3:40 pacer, or yeah, the 3:40 pacer, and I was like, okay, do I run with them for a bit? Do I not? So I did, and then I was like, well, you know what? This isn't gonna be my time. So I just ran at a pace that I wanted to. So I comfortably ran at, I'll say, around a 4:30 for over half the marathon. After that, I kind of went down and ran an average of 5:30. There was 2 of the kilometers where I ran about a 6 because I was just really tired. But yeah, that's how I completed the race. Along the way, I made sure I didn't do the mistakes that I did from the Vancouver one. So I had water. I went to the washroom whenever I needed to. I used my gels. I didn't not use my gels for the Vancouver one, but I'm just adding that I made sure I used gels, and I found a good one that had caffeine but didn't make me queasy, so I used those. I also brought a Cliff Bar. That's the first time I've brought an energy bar on a race, but I felt like I wanted to have it with me just because I knew I was really going to be putting a lot of work and digging deep, and I did end up having it. I think it was over halfway, and I feel like it did definitely contribute to me achieving my goals. And yeah, crossed over the finish line, felt really great. There was my old dance teacher, Mairead. She was there with her family. Obviously, Michelle was there. There were some people from Cactus Club, which is where I work at now, and there were some people there cheering me throughout the finish line. And yeah, honestly, it was such a great feeling. I feel like I almost cried just because of all the hard work that I've been putting in and all the training that I've been doing. I still feel so proud and so happy, and I am really excited to push forward and to continue improving and eventually qualify for Boston. That's my goal. I know that 2 hours and 55 minutes definitely sounds very daunting, but just seeing all the improvement that I've been doing, I'm getting there, and I'm really determined. So I'm gonna keep on going. And that summarizes the Victoria Marathon. The next races I want to do is the BMO Vancouver Marathon next year, and then I also want to sign up for the Dublin Marathon, which would be next October. And Mairead, my old dance teacher, wants to come along with me. So yeah, instead of doing the Worlds for Irish dancing, I'm doing the Dublin Marathon. That's it. That's all for this time. Thanks for watching, and watch out for my 90-day update to come soon. See you later. Have a great weekend. Oh, I almost forgot. Make sure to like and subscribe. Okay, now goodbye.